Vayiten lias me'aras v'chulu, and he'll give me the cave of the patriarchs and so forth when Abraham bought the Maaret Hamachpela. Perakei de Eruvin Nun Gimel Aleph Bais Ve'aliyah. So in Eruvin it says, why is it Machpela? Why is it doubled? Because it has a house and a second story. Yishlomar, we can say Heitata ve'He'ilah, that these are the two Heys in Hashem's name, the lower Hey and the higher Hey. Hainu Malchus u'Bina. That is Malchus and Bina. Kibais Nikra Malchus, because the house is called Malchus, Kinot, as is known Me'inyan B'Chochma Yivne Bais, with the concept of with wisdom you'll build a house. Tzirufi Osios Adibor, which are the house are the combinations of the letters of speech. So wisdom founds the house, which is the speech of Malchus. Ve'aliyah hainu machshava, and the second story, that's thought, al derech Allah b'machshava, like the concept of that it came up into thought, machshava ilah, supernal thought. Ve'ayin be'me'ori or erech Ein Sif Lamed Hey Al Havaya Nikra Bina Shehi Alza Hanikra Havaya Chulu. So it says Me'ori or about Al Havaya, about upon Havaya, that's called Bina, which is a Shehi Alza, which is upon Za Hanikra Havaya Chulu, which that Za is called Havaya, so Al Havaya is Bina. After Lomar, we can say Zeu Inyan Ra'isi B'nei Aliyah v'heimu atim, that this is the concept of I saw sons of Aliyah, of the exalted people who are high and exalted, meaning, or people in this context, people of the second story. And there's only a few of them. Hainu hazochim lekabel min bechinas Aliyah, that is those people that merited to receive from this level of the second story. Hey ilachulu, which is the supernal Hey. Umand Amar Beis Bati Muzelifnimize. What about the opinion that the Machpela is that there's two houses, one inside the other? Yishlomar, we can say Zun, that refers to Za and Nukva Shnikra Bati Barai, that are called the outer houses, in comparison to Chochma and Bina, which are the Bati Gavai. Ve'Abba ve'Ima Nikra Bati Gavai, K'mo shekaz b'me'ori or Osbeis, Simen Nun Zayin. Inami, or you can say Hey Tata ve'Hamiloi Gamken Hey Zeu Batim, that the lower Hey and also its Miloi is also a Hey, if you spell Hey. So Beis Batim, so that's two houses of Hey. Od Lahayir B'mashikas B'me'ori or Oskuf Simin Gimel Kaver Nekris, so Dunukvach V'chulu. We can also awaken to what's brought in Me'ori or, how the grave is the concept of Yesod of Nukva. We can awaken to the idea of the opening of the grave as an expression of the menstrual commandments and the like. That is the opening. That is the opening for giving birth. And the revelation that comes from that level of the feminine Yesod. And therefore, in Yechezkel, it relates the idea of opening, of the revival of the dead, to opening your graves. Because the redemption is called a birth. V'hu inyan psichas hakever, and that's the concept of opening the grave. U'mizeh yumshach tchias hamesim chulu, and from this will come the revival of the dead, which is compared to a giving birth. Od sham b'me'ori or kivros hatayva nikra bina. Further, there in me'ori or that the graves of desire is called bina. Hisham kavru es ha'amam mitayvim, because there was buried the nation that desired Shefa Olam Haba, that is the flow of the world to come. Ad kan l'shono. So you have a kever in bina in malchus, yisod of nukva, and you also have a higher kind of kever, as it is in bina, which is the concept of the flow of the world to come. The higher feminine concept, because the so the nation under Moshe, again, a concept of that their desires were more for spiritual things, and their sins were more of a spiritual nature, that they desired higher things, similar to what's brought about the Meraglim and so forth in Chassidus. Look what's brought about, the verse, and he buried him in the valley. That to above it seemed that he was below, and to those below it seemed like he was above. That his grave was in the 50th gate of Bina. So there you have a concept of kever also in Bina by Moshe, but on the deepest level. And that's also the place that Yesod Abba enters, that Moshe in general corresponds with Yesod Abba, and his grave is the concept of Yesod of Ima, or the Sharach HaMishim. That's where Yesod enters, Yesod Abba enters Yesod Ima. And that's the in-between concept between the mother and the father of Chachma and Bina. It's a memutza, the kever, the 50th gate of Bina connects them. Ube'emek HaMelech, Shar Aleph Perek Daled, Tav Gimel Amud Gimel, B'Shem Sefer Bris Menucha. Now, in Emek HaMelech, it brings from the Bris Menucha, Sha'achachma Nikra, Kivros HaTaiva, that the wisdom is called, the Chachma is called the graves of desire, and not like we brought before that it was Bina. Shekal HaNivraim Mitayvim Lahasig Omko V'Tfunaso V'Yofyo Mimshalto Chulu, that the reason that Chachma is the Kivros HaTaiva is because all the creations desire to grasp its depth and its wisdom and its understanding and its beauty and its ruling and its rulership. So I guess in this context, Kivros HaTaiva is that it's the hidden place where everyone desires to reach up to. Val ben Azai uben Zoma Amar Sham Kavru Ha'ama Mitavim Chulu. And in Ben Azai and Ben Zoma it says that that's where they buried the nation that desired, perhaps because they didn't get married or they had trouble with their earlier son Shama when by Arba Shenichnu to Pardis and the like. V'yesh lomar, and we can say Dahinu Kamoshe Kasu B'Torah Or B'Dibur HaMaschol V'Yishlach Yaakov Chulu Mincha. We can say that it's like Yaakov sent a mincha in that Mamer Shelafi Shayarak B'Chinas Ratzo B'Lishov, because there's a concept of to go up without coming back. Al King Sham Kavruchulu, therefore they buried them. But you have to have a going up and coming back to enclose the light in Torah and mitzvahs. So with the Arba Shenichnasu Pardes, that was their problem also, that they went up and they didn't have shuv, like Rabbi Akiva. So anyways, so it's because Hitzi Sumeis, so he was buried there, but the point is that it's similar to this idea that we're saying that above in Bina there's a concept of a kever, but the soul went up there and got buried there, so to speak. But in Zohar Chelik Aleph, Bereishis Daf Chav Zayin Sof Amud Beis Kfurasa Dilei Ihi Mishnah, it says that the burial place of Moshe is Mishnah. Hainu Mashin Islabish Chochmei La B'inyanim Gashmim. That is the supernal wisdom of Chachma was enclosed in physical things. Im Kein Lefize Sham Kavru Esa Amam Mitayvim Hainu Bechinas Hashov. So if so, that's the other way around. So the burial place of the wisdom. So if Moshe is wisdom of Chachma, so then the Chachma is hidden within the physical. So that's the other way around. The above and the wisdom coming down into the physical and getting buried there, which is instead of the Ratzo above, the Kever is the Shov. Achar Ratzo, after going up, V'hatayva Yalbishu Tayvasan Basic Torah Shebal Peh, and the desire, and you should enclose your desire in the toil in the oral Torah. Yechezkel Lamed Zayin Yud Gimel L'chein V'chulu. So in Yechezkel, where it brings a concept of the revival of the dead with the dry bones and so forth, it says, Ani poseach es kivrosechem v'chulu, I'm going to open your graves. Be'mekamelech shar hashishi sof perek ayin bez Mishnah Beis Gimel Shiskal Gulu Tachas Mechilos V'Yikablu Nishmasnu Beretz Yisrael. It says that they will roll under the earth in tunnels, and they will receive their souls in the land of Israel. And on this it says, and I will give my spirit in you, and you will live. So I'm not sure in spiritual terms which level that refers to in terms of the kever. Rabos Bereishis Parsha Yud Gimel Daf Ein Zayin Aleph Be'inyan Geshamim V'Shikula Kitchias HaMesim. So in Medrash Rabbah, in terms of the rains, that the rains are compared to, or on the same level as, the revival of the dead. Zubipsicha, Ubizupsicha. Both of them have a concept of opening. Bizupsicha Yiftacha Vaylecha Es Otzaru Hatov. That by rain it says, Havaya is going to open for you his good storehouse. And by the revival of the dead it says, Ani poseach es kivrosechem, here I'm going to open your graves. So there's some kind of comparison to rain and Tchias HaMesim b'Meori, or Pasha Chavav Pesach Malchus Knisa V'Yetziach Chulu. In Meori, or it says the Pesach, the opening, is Malchus, an entrance and an exit. Pesach Nadarim Yesod Bina Chulu, but you have an opening of Neder, that's Yesod of Bina, so it's similar, like we said before. You have a concept of Yesod of Malchus and Yesod of Bina being the Kever, and also the opening for the rain above. ובפרדיס שערי נקודס פרקי הקומץ בקסר ופסח בחוכמה. And so in Pardes, in the gate of the vowels, the Nekudos, so it says Komatz is on the level of Keser, and the Pasach is on the level of wisdom of Chochma, Shumigale Helam Shela Keser Chulu, that opens up the hidden level of Keser. So Komatz means to close up, like you're like a kometz, when you take the kometz in your hand, or to be mekametz your lips, to scrunch them up. And when you pronounce the Pasach, it's because you're opening your mouth, and Pesach or an opening, so it's to open up that kimutz, that being closed. So it's a concept of wisdom, reveals the hidden level of Keser. Look over there, and or a number of other explanations of opening. Look what's brought about the idea of in Zohar about she opened her mouth with wisdom. So you have a concept of connection between Malchus and the entrance, like we're saying here that the Pesach of Chochmah is a Pesach. Or Parshas Beraishis, b'dibur hamaschil inyan habrachos b'pirush posech b'baruch. Look what's brought about the idea of the blessings when it says to open with Baruch. Look what's brought about making the tzitz, that you should open for the engraving of the seal. That the seal is a concept of the opening as well, and the chosim in general is also a concept of yisod. Parshas Vayiten, Parsha Ein Gimel Daf Pei Beis Amud Aleph al Pasuk Yiftach Es Rachma Shlosha Maftechos. So it says in Parshas Vayiten concerning Rachel, that Hashem opened her womb, Shlosha Maftechos B'yad Hakadosh Baruch Hu, that there are 3 keys in the hands of the Holy One, blessed be He. Maftech Shel Kvura, Maftech Shel Geshamim, Maftech Shel Rechem Chulu. There's a key to rains and a key to the womb. Hini ani poseh chulu. Here I'm going to open up. And the key of Trias HaMesim. So these are 3 midrashim that he brought before with the Sicha, that you have this concept of rains and the womb, the feminine yisod, and the Trias HaMesim. Kol zehu psichas yisodus. All of this is opening the concept of yisod. V'noda, and it's known sheliyos psichas harechem deleda zehu inyan kriyas yamsuf, that in order to have the opening of the womb for birth, that's the same idea as the splitting of the sea, the ba'atika talia, that's dependent upon atik. So l'chora, in these yisodus as well, the opening of yisod in general, you have this concept of the dependency on the revelation of Atik. So like it's brought in Likutei Torah Tzav, on the sea saw and it ran, that in order to have the concept of giving birth and opening the womb, in order to have the soul come out from a hidden state to the revealed, you have to have a revelation of the concept of the attribute of Malchus, of kingship, that's above the gradative process of the order of creation, and so forth. So in order to have the soul come out from the hidden to the revealed, you have to draw down to Malchus from beyond the order of creation, from Atik. And look what's brought about. Look what's brought in how goodly are your tents, in Peter Kol Rechem Chulu, in the concept of redeeming, the one who redeems the womb, the firstborn. This is Peter Kol Rechem. So the Bechor draws down from Atik, the fact that firstborn has that extra Hamshacha. So or the first, that's where the special quality of the firstborn comes from, to get a double portion and so forth. And that's the concept of Hey of Avraham. I'm sorry. Or Parshas Lech Lecha Shekdei Yoseh Gilui Mechachmei Avram. Like it's brought into, or that in order to have the revelation of the high father of Avram as he has beforehand, Lamata, but to below, you have to draw down from Atik, from beyond Chachma, to push it out and reveal it. And that's the concept of Hey of Avraham. Like we're saying here, that you have the concept of Hey, of the Kever, of the feminine Yesod, that's, or the Yesod of Bina, that's Mamshich from Atik to draw down Chachma. Like we're saying, the Pasach is a Pia Pascha B'Chachma to reveal the Kamatz of Keser. And in Zohar Lech Lecha it explains the concept of to go down is the concept of the descent of the body into the soul into the body. So like we said, it's the concept of the kever is the gashmius, and the going into the kever is the neshama going down, or in the context of Avraham, it's the Avraham and Sarah are the neshama and guf. Shekedeli yos yiridazu vayidei shakadosh baruch hu mevarich la b'mea birchan kaminyan lech lecha. Then in order to have this descent, it's through this that the Holy One, blessed be He, blesses her with 100 blessings, like the gematria of the words lech lecha. And he brought before the concept of Poseach bebaruch is connected to this. The concept of Psicha is connected with Baruch. So the Mea Brachos to Sarah is a concept of this descent as well. Mea Brachos Shosha Mea Keser Chulu, and the 100 blessings, their root is in Keser. Chulu Vayin Sham Bepirush Ramaz. So it's also connected to Chayeh Sarah's Mea Shana. So the 100 blessings are from Keser to draw down to this concept of the Kever from Atika Talia, like we said. And with this as well, you can understand the idea of the key of the grave for the Tchias HaMesim, which is one of the 3 keys. Shu Gam Kain Shehi Haguf Kli Legilei HaNeshama, which is also the idea that the body will be a vessel for the revelation of the soul, Shetated Bo, that will descend into it. Veshihi Haguf B'Madrega Elyona, that the body should be on a high level, Ad Shelo Yitztarech Lachilo Shesiachulu, to the point where it does not need eating or drinking anymore. All of this comes from a revelation of the concept of Keser into this concept of the Kever of the body. Like it's brought in Yisro about how the Avos were the chariot, is I guess the goof becoming batel. And look about this concept of dew, of Atik, of revival of the dead, and about eating the man. But Torah or Parshas told us Bebir al pasuk mayim rabim besofo. Therefore, it's compared to the key of rains. So again, you have the tal tchia. So the dew is connected to the concept of the key of rains. To revive the dead is a similar key to the revival or bringing down the rains. That's the concept of dew, which is higher than rain. So what's the key to the rain is higher than the rain, that affects and controls the rain, so to speak, is what's higher than it. That's the dew. So that's why the dew is the mafteach. Because tal inu me'atzer, and so forth. Israel. That I will be like dew, and then the rain will come. V'chor. V'nisbor b'makom macher bebir hazinu hashamayim derusha sheni. Vayechi, sof Parshas Tzadik Vav, Hatzadikim, Shehin Kfurim b'chutz la'aretz chulu. So, this is the Midrash Rabbah. The righteous who are buried in outside of Israel, b'chutz la'aretz chulu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu oseh lahen mechilos ba'aretz chulu, the Holy One, blessed be He, makes tunnels for them in the earth. Shechein ksiv hinei ani poseach es kivrosechem, because it's written, behold, I'm going to open your graves, and I'm going to lift up you out of your graves, my nation, and I will bring you to the land of Israel. And then only afterwards does it say, and then I'm going to place my spirit in you, and you will be enlivened. So first it says, I'm going to bring you up from your graves and bring you to Israel, and only afterwards does it say, I'm going to bring you alive, bring you life. Vayin mashakasav le'il b'shem mekamelech sof sharvav. V'yesh lahayr, we can say le'inyan mafteach, to the concept of the key. Memashakasav b'likuti Torah Parshas re'es b'dibra maschel ki sishma b'kol b'inyan maftechos hachitzonios u'maftechos hapnimis. There it talks about the inner keys and the outer keys. Umashikasav b'zoharish Parshas Shlach b'inyan mem stuma de lamar be'hamisra, and what's brought in Shlach about the pasuk to greaten the measure with the mem stuma in lamar be. It's a concept of Mamer sasum in comparison to a Mamer pasuach, the mem stuma in comparison to the mem psucha, like the difference between machshava and dibur. But here you also have a concept of psicha of the mem. It's a pesach, and that's connected to la'asi lavo, similar to this idea of the mafteach of tchias hamesim. Ve'isa b'mikdash melech sham ki b'yitzias Mitzrayim niftecha mem d'lamar beha misra pesach katan chulu. And it's brought in Mikdash Melech there in Zoharish Parshas Shlach that in the time to come, by this, the going out of Mitzrayim, the mem of the Mar Beha Mitzrayim was opened, a small opening. But in the time to come, the Holy One, blessed be He, will open that mem that's mentioned, the Lamar Beha Misra, in a diagonal, also base dalton, and it'll make the two dalids shel ben David chulo, of the son of David of Mashiach, that David has two dalids. So the mem is composed of two dalids. Base dalton Eloheinu malchus ein sof, and these two dalids are the concept of malchus of ein sof, malchus the Atzilus, and malchus of Atzilus. Those are the two dalids, the two concepts within malchus of kingship of Mashiach. V'zeu hein am levadad yishkon, and that's the idea of the nation, or hein, which are the hein, the nun, which don't have partners. They're a nation who will dwell alone. Levadad with two dalids hints to this concept of malchus, above, of exaltedness of Hashem. Al pasuk al pi Mamer Zohar ish Parshas Noach daf nun tes amud aleph. It's also brought about in the Kavanos before Shmona Esrei in the on the word goalam, that inside there the concept of olam, which is the idea of the two dalids as well, to make the mem for the concept of hamshacha to nukva, of Rachel and Leah.